It's time for Daddy to make some funny. For the...
Hey, good morning. No, my headphones, why do you do this to me? Good morning. Let's see. I have to change some settings. I tried using my wireless headphones and they're like, "Oh, you're talking now." Also, I'm looking for the emoji syntax. I don't know if anybody out there remembers what the syntax for emojis were, but apparently I didn't file that information very well, so I don't have it readily available right now. But it's also something that's not too important. Check, check. There we go. Yeah, I was trying to use a different pair of headphones, and I started talking, and they're like, "Oh, you want us to mute everything so you can hear yourself talk?" Yeah, they're very helpful headphones. So today, I actually wanted to try a different puzzle. I know, right? Crazy. So I'm going to be setting up an Asker puzzle, and it's going to be like Simon Says. Now, I don't imagine this is going to be half as complicated as my other puzzles, but it could be if I wanted it to. But essentially what we're going to be creating today, which I imagine we'll be able to finish today, if not tomorrow, is a multi-page Asker like series of events. So we're probably gonna have, the first page of dialogue, which then you have 4 choices. So that means your second page of dialogue is going to have 4 different options. And so each one of those is also going to have 4 different options. You catch my meaning? Now, at the end of it, we'll have it'll probably be maybe like 5-ish different series or pages, but they're all going to be identical, so the same thing is going to be on each page, but the messages behind each one, like it's looking for the correct order. So I can essentially make one correct order or branch that reaches the correct answer, and then every other one is going to be going to an incorrect answer. But yeah, welcome in everybody, good morning. Sprite? I think you're right, Fred. Thank you. I think you're right. I mean, it sounds right. So Sprite. I'll search my notes for that too. Maybe I can find it just on that word. Nope. Is it Sprite? No, it doesn't look like it's popping up. At least for my notes. But I'm not gonna worry about it. It's probably like the least important thing with the puzzle. In fact, I can, you know, do the puzzle and then come back to that. But I do want to find it. What's up, D-Electronics? How are you? Good morning. Wicked You 2, what's up? Good morning. Or good afternoon, evening for you. Mosquita, buenos dias. Static, how are you? Go West, good morning. Blue Tulip, hey yo, what's happening? Go West, hope you're doing well too. Is it bananas? We got bananas? Woohoo! Good afternoon. Pinky's up. You're sick, Go West? Oh man, I'm sorry. Get some sleep, rest, Gatorade. What's your ritual for getting better? Usually, like, every family has one. You know, like my parents recommend ginger ale. I guess that helps with your sinuses. I don't know. Alright, so let's set up that Asker dialogue. I'm gonna try some different music today. I always say that. But basically I have a playlist with all the songs I usually play during stream. We'll see if we find any good tunes. Okay, so for now, the speaker name, we'll say computer. You don't get Go S well, it's too late for that. You can deny it all you want. Input code. And then it's going to be like some blanks, like input areas. And yeah, we'll go for 5 numbers. I think it'd be more fun that way. And so each time we input something, it's going to make progress on the screen. So there'll be like a visual representation. This is something I did in Fungus Among Us.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S?
Banana. So much mucus. Gross, Go West. Ew, TMI. But yeah, get well soon also. Cool. So I wanted to put the emojis here, but I don't remember the emojis. I know Sprite is actually like perhaps what I was looking for. So yeah, we can just test this real quick. So we'll do like less than Sprite equals 10. Then here's my spawn point, so I can just walk up to this and interact with it. Okay, so Sprite, I think, is what we were looking for, so thank you, Fred. That would have bothered me pretty much the entire stream, is like, what is the command for the emojis? I would like to have a list here. So maybe if I Google it, Sprite equals 10. No, it doesn't look like there's a list. And in fact, I'm just getting advertisements for Sprite now. Yeah. Alright, well, I'm just, I guess, holding out hope here. Full emoji list. Garnican, good morning. How are you, Garnican? Static's doing good. Programming, ooh. Which language? I mean, is what I'm doing considered programming? I guess. I'm curious. I don't know. Alright, well, we'll try a few here. Let's do... Sprite equals... I know 32 was like the max, so let's count down. Because I don't want the face emojis. I want some like interesting shapes. And I'm fairly certain we can color these as well. It's called no code. Are you calling me a nobody, D-Electronics? Oh, you're doing C#. Ooh, static. C# is... That's like, well, that's Unity, right? I feel like I'm always second-guessing myself. But also, yes. Yeah, I mean, it's technically coding. It is somewhat cheating. And Garnican, yes, I am feeling better. Thanks for, thank you for that. If anything, I was just sleep-deprived yesterday, so decided to sleep. Which I think ended up being the correct choice. So. But yeah, we're adding emojis right now. It does appear as though they're getting smaller. Which I don't like. Because that somewhat limits my options. Now, I'm fairly certain I can also make them larger, so let me try that. So we'll do size equals 40. See if that makes a difference. But yeah, ideally I would like to find a couple of symbols to use in a puzzle here. So that's why I'm typing in this asker behavior. So we have the Z's, which did get bigger when I adjusted the size. We have a wave, raised hands, kissy face. Kissy face! Do 21. Visual Basic is similar to GameMaker. Visual Basic. Yeah, I honestly don't have an idea of what most other languages do. I know C# is Unity, so Visual Basic? Event-driven programming language from Microsoft. If I could learn a language, which, I mean, I can, is just putting in the time, I would probably go for C#, because that's what Unity uses. And that would be very beneficial, you know, when that transition happens. They've essentially promised it'll happen in the future. And I'll be here in the future, I hope. As long as I don't get murdered. Hey, what's up, OG Shakespeare? Welcome in. Raiders are here. Hope you had a great stream today. I saw you were hopping around the sharing event games. Ended with your races. What's new with you, boo? Welcome in, everybody. I see we've got Ian the IT guy. How are you? Good morning. Irotos. I'm doing well. How about yourself? Jayon. Hi. Good evening. Hello, hello. We're taking a look at the various emojis here. I was hoping to find like some squares and like basic shapes, but the more I go through these, I'm like realizing they're just kind of ugly. They're not exactly the best for like a puzzle of my style that we're going for. So we've got like selfie. I mean, like, these can be useful, but they're not exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna see if I can find symbol, input, numpad, shapes. Doing a quick Google. Should we use arrows? Basic shapes like circles and squares? Or perhaps something more universal? I think for now we'll start with square. Let's see how it looks. Hopefully it even registers here. I mean, that's a square. So we'll do color and we'll do size. So we'll make it size equals 50 and color equals yellow. It did not show up. Oh, I didn't put anything? There it is. No, it's still not there. So, I think the square itself isn't registering. So I'll have to pick a different shape. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find like a good list to pull from so we have. And I should probably just mark down the things that aren't working. And then maybe we'll have like a compiled list of symbols. This sounds like a lot of work, and I know it would be if I tried. But creating like a Wikipedia of like community game maker knowledge. This is something I'd want to talk with Fred about. Maybe Paul. Anyone else that's, you know, familiar with game maker, especially like more advanced techniques. I know OG would be a good resource as well. Eid says, fine, thanks. Feeling better? I am. Thank you very much. I was just sleep deprived yesterday. Paul says, the right sheet Sandbox was using would kill for a magnifying glass, right? Magnifying glass is like a great symbolic representation of, hey, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Now, you could always make one, Paul. That's always an option. Just in box edit. Sparky Snickle, good morning. Welcome. But yeah, I lost, Paul, that sheet with all the symbols on it. I already lost it. I can't find it in my notes. And it feels bad. I'll just do a quick skim. See if I can find it. Please! Where are you? Oh, maybe? No, that's not it. Maybe. No, I don't see it. Gosh darn it. Gee whiz. I'm wasting my time looking for this. They saved it to my computer and everything. But then it just disappears. Alright, yep. No notes. Lurgan, what's up, Escape Room Artist? Welcome in. So, yeah, now we're just looking for shapes here. See what might work. Huh. Okay, well, it's just removing these symbols. What about just a generic circle? Ah!
What?
Ah!
What?
What's up, Igion? Good morning. How about these? Nope, still nothing. Up, down, left, right. Alright, this time I'm actually just going to make a new document. So that way I have all of my notes from today's puzzle making. So we're going to do new, create new file. This is going to be syntax. So game maker syntax. And symbols I've used. Links. Okay. So basically I'm forming a new document, and this way I can reference it when I need it. So right now I'm pulling up like alt codes. So these are generally, you know, like you type into your computer a certain combination, and they are part of like the generic font format. However, the ones I wanted to use aren't currently being registered in Sandbox. So that's the current problem. And I would like a square. I would love these arrows, but they're not working. So this is actually very useful. I can maybe find something in a string of text. So we have one arrow here. That's good. That's a very good sign. But the arrow did not show up. So, no longer a good sign. Huh. More arrows. Let's see if any of them register. Nope. Right. I'm going to disable that. Oh, A4, that's funny. Okay. Man, it's a shame none of these want to work. They're appearing just briefly. Still nothing. Damn. Okay, just bear with me while I look for something real quick. Hello. What's up, Lulu Love? Good morning. Miss 9. Welcome in. Right now I'm just mad at myself that I lost that file already. I even shared it.
Really on a scale of
Really?
1 to 10, you are an 11.
Damn. Alright, well, no use crying over spilled milk, I suppose. Let's go ahead and make this puzzle work. That's the least I can do. I can always revisit these and change out the text. Pretty easily, in fact. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're inputting a code, and so here's what we're working on today. I want to make an Asker puzzle that you have to input a certain code in order to get, let's just say, through a door. So by inputting the code, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think what I would prefer is instead of numbers, like shapes. So like square, circle, triangle, X. You know, like the typical PlayStation controller. And so that's what I was looking for the last like 10 minutes was you know, a way to input those shapes. Square, circle, triangle, X. For now, we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Is what it is. So, how do we do that? Well, we're going to make multiple pages here of dialogue. Now, it's gonna get complicated simply because I have this input code section. So, for example, if I type in my answers as I get to them, it's going to get very complex very fast because I'll need multiples. For the sake of discussion, I'll probably do it so we can maybe like fine tune it. Let's go ahead and say I input 1 here. And so that means I'm on page 2. So let's go ahead and decide on a message structure. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Google Sheets document for Eon. And we'll build it out from Google Sheets. Okay, so we have our dial puzzle, we have third puzzle. Sure, we'll input this. So this is going to be Asker puzzle. So we have the starting Asker message. We'll do probably, I want to label this input puzzle dot 0. Nope. I think I'm gonna do exclamation, because that tells me I'm, you know, interacting with something. And so then we have each of the pages. So we're gonna do input dot A1, input dot A2, input dot A3, input dot A4, or we do 1A. So this is where Google Sheets is being very helpful, is because I can easily change how I'm approaching this puzzle. I think these are good, but if I'm organizing the Asker pages themselves, having each page be its own number, I think might be more beneficial. So this is option A, option B, option C, option D. And so that basically sends us to the next page of the dialogue, which then I do the same thing. So I think we're going to want to do this, insert 4 below. We'll just copy paste this. So going from 1A to 2A. Basically, if we input the wrong thing, I want it to show up on screen. So maybe there'll be like a visual cue rather than the asker dialogue. So for example, if we have like a giant computer screen here, each time I input something, it's going to show up on screen. Right? So if I'm showing the thing on screen, I would benefit very greatly, in fact, by not putting it here in this question code. So that means I can have only, one correct answer, and I don't need pages of asker dialogue where it's saying the combination I'm at currently. So I don't want that. So what should I put in this question box? We'll see what it looks like when it's blank. So if it's blank, it just has, nothing on the screen. Oh, sorry guys, my microphone, I think I need a new one. One sec. Testing. Is that any better? If it's bad, it's bad, but hopefully it's better. Yeah, I've had this microphone 5-6 years now. It's time for an upgrade. Better. Thank you very much. Checking 1, 2, 3. Checking 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it seems like it's better. So, we're gonna have input the correct code. And then I'm gonna put in parentheses page 1. And we're gonna build off of that. So, for demonstration purposes, I'm also going to add the asset spawners. It doesn't really matter what asset we're spawning here. What? That's interesting. That's, I think, a bug. So I was just in the multiplayer asset spawner, using not a preset, but just a generic asset. I can't spawn single player things. That seems like a bug to me. Interesting. So if you're using a single player behavior asset spawner, you can't spawn multiplayer behavior items. Huh. Okay. Good to know, I suppose. Okay, so we're gonna have a 5-page puzzle here. Now, each one of these could be... I'm complicating this a little bit, but it'll make it more easy to understand in the end. So I'm going to use a platform mechanic here. And my thought is I just move this, and so then we just have all these asset spawners stacked on top of each other. So we're going to have an asset spawner associated with the 4 different options while we're doing the quiz. So let's go ahead and make those. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and label these things. We're going to do input puzzle. So input is going to be kind of like the label I have for this particular puzzle. Like I had my water puzzle, I had my spinner puzzle, so this is going to be the input puzzle. Right now we're going to do input dot spawner dot 1. This is also for testing, but this is fine. We'll use this. And then, based on the messages that we started, we're going to decide each one of these. So this is going to be 2A, 2B, 2C. And so this is the logic we're going to follow for this puzzle. So if I bring this, logic over, I want all of the ancient artifacts to spawn on the A options. So if we have 5 pages of dialogue here, this is going to be input.5 or 1A. This will be input.2A. So every A option, we're getting an artifact to spawn. .3A. Input.4A. Input.Jorge 5A. Great. So each one of these is just a plant behavior. Delay between spawns fine. We'll keep it there. We labeled this input spawner. Now we're also going to have input platform. We'll do input spawner dot platform. And then with my alternative spawners here, I'm just going to stack them all up and then use the offset. So we'll do X 0.5. Sure. Yeah. This is going to be input spawner 2. That means we can do input spawner 1 on this one. Offset it to 1. This one will be 3. This will be input spawner 4. And input spawner 5. Now we're going to pick... Oh, wait. Yes? No. Yes? No. Yes? Yes. We only needed 4. I don't know why I made 5. Yeah, because we only have 4 options. So we've got 1, 2, and this will be 3 and 4. Yes, no, yes, no. Okay, so let's go ahead and spawn a different item this section. Doesn't matter what it is. Different item here. We'll spawn some blocks, sure. Okay, so we basically have 4 different options. Now we associate the messages to them. So again, we're kind of like making the messages here. So this is going to be 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B. So input.2B. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Input.2. Oops, wrong button. So message required. Input.2A. Yeah, we got to make sure we have all of the 2s, right? Okay, what am I doing here? Right, so the number is relative to the page of the asker dialogue. The letter that follows the number is relative to the choice. So, My A's are choice 1. My B's are choice 2. Got 3, nope, 4B. And 5B. Okay, and then we have the C's. So we input dot 1C. Input dot 2C. Input dot 3C. And input dot 4C. And input dot 5C. And last one we have input dot 1D. Dot 1 2D. D 4D. Yeah, just a reminder, if anybody has questions, Game Maker related, feel free to ask. There's a couple of us here in chat that I know are more than happy to help. We like to talk through these things because, you know, it makes all of us stronger, smarter at Game Maker when we, you know, talk it through. So I'm now going to attach my spawners to the platform. So the platform is going to be going left and right. The platform itself, I'm going to have on a very slow speed. It's going to be visible for our puzzle just so we can see it in action. And I don't really need these boxes. They're just kind of like a visual guide. So we'll see something spawn every once in a while. But essentially I want to turn this as a toggle to basically turn off and on. So whenever I input a message and go to the next dialogue page. So we do have a lot of messages. Huh. Essentially I want all of my messages, every one that we just made, input 1 A through D, input 2 A through D, I'm going to have be relayed through a speaker component. And it's going to have a super short delay. And then I'm also going to duplicate this once I have that message relay, and then add a stronger delay. This will allow me to use that basic platform in a unique way. So, more or less, I'm experimenting with some things right now, as I always am. But this is how we find, you know, a mechanic that works for our puzzle. Great, so we're going to have a lot of messages here. Again, it was all those inputs we just made. So I can just start typing input 1A. Let's go ahead and copy that. Then I can paste it. This definitely makes it a lot easier. A, B, C, D, and E? Wait, no, we only have 4 options. 5 pages, 4 options. Keep forgetting. Input dot 2. We have input.3. We need 8 more. It's input.4. And 5. Last page. Great. So yeah, we're already organizing, you know, from the start of this. And I think that's very important. Okay, so this message is going to toggle our platform. So we're going to do input.platform. Well, it's input spawner platform specifically. So we can do input well, this message could be used for multiple things. So we'll do input next, input next page, next interaction, input puzzle. I kind of like input.next, so we'll use that for now. Now I'm going to duplicate this, now that we've set up all those messages, and we're going to add a longer delay to it. And it's also going to toggle off. So we'll do input.wait. And this rotation duration will increase to like 0.5. I'll also put input.wait in the text bubble. And we'll have these next to each other so we can see them when they activate. It'll be input.next. OneBox, what's up, dude? OneBox, I am actively trying to organize, and I hate it. It's definitely not something I have done on past projects, and a lot of people have recommended to me to, you know, try. So, I'm giving it a good try. I'll let you know if it's worth it. Right now, you know, I am seeing some benefits, but I think in the long run, like long term, that's where we'll see the most benefit. So, is what it is. It's annoying, I'll say that. Alright, so we're going to be toggling it on and off. I think we'll go ahead and do specifically turn on and specifically turn off rather than toggle. So we had the next message. And we had the wait message. So both of those will turn on and subsequently turn off my platform. And the spawners themselves are going to be what drop like an asset on this row here, just so we can see our choices as we make them. Great, so now I can set up the messages for our interaction, our computer. And the way that we've set it up, I don't need like branching paths. I can literally have 2 paths here. So let's go ahead and make the first, you know, choice. And all of the puzzle correct answers for the moment is going to be our A1, so our first choice, number 1. So for this puzzle, for testing purposes, the correct combination will be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is going to be input.1a. So all of these already have messages associated with them, so we can just plug those in. That's input 1a, input 1b, input.1c, and input.1d. Great. Now we can duplicate this. And basically we only need 2 different like pages here. Now one thing I might do to make this a little bit more organized is do input.asker. This is like page 2. This will be... yeah, we don't need page there, so this will be like 2.1. And then we also have 2.2. This one's just input.asker.1, because there's always only going to be one page that we start with. So we then have, if we're doing the incorrect answer, as everything except for the first choice, that's going to bring us to page 2. So page 2.2 is the incorrect choices. So that's going to be input.1b brings us here. Input.1c brings us here. And input.1d brings us there. Whereas for the correct one, it's page 2.1. And the only option that brought us to the correct asker is input.1a. Great. Now, here's where things get a little bit tricky. All of these are, again, going to be input.2a, 2b, 2c, and 2d. Now, for our asker page, because we've now split our branch here, we're probably going to make a different series of messages that is like the incorrect combination, which I think, because it'll be the more common selection, like there's only literally like one path you can take for the correct answers, that's going to be a specific message. So if we're doing input.2a as the correct answer for this dialogue, it does need to have another probably suffix so that I know it's like the correct answer. So we'll do input.2a.c. This is going to change in the future, so I shouldn't think about it too much, actually. So 2a.c is fine. So basically, again, we're going for a 5 combination. For testing, it's just going to be all 1s. Everything else is just going to send us to the incorrect asker and the subsequent one. OCD heaven, if you say so, $1. Okay, so each one of these we're changing to 2A, and so note I'm not using 2AC. Great, so I think we could test this as is. Now, we'll have a test message here that will also relay when we input the correct message. Messages being required here are going to be all the C messages that we haven't made yet. So let's go ahead and make those C messages. So that's going to be, first of all, 1A is the correct answer, because that's our first page. It's going to say correct. So now we have 2a.c. .3a.c, because again we're just doing 5 1s, so we're just kind of setting up the puzzle before we customize it. We have 4a.c and 5a.c. So every time I get one of those correct, it's just going to pop up as correct. Cool, I'll save our progress and then we'll test it real quick. So we got a lot of things to test here. When I interact and choose any option, the platform's going to move a little bit. It didn't move at all. Resetting it is also something I would probably want to do for our testing purposes. Okay. So this duration, I would like to adjust a little bit. We'll make it rotate 1 second. Platform will make it a little bit faster. And I want the platform to reset, but I don't need it to reset yet. Basically, the player has to input everything on all 5 pages, then this platform needs to reset. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Other than that, so far so good. You can test it one more time. So we can see here, that's the correct page, and that takes us to the correct page. And we're spawning something different on each message. Great, so most of our mechanics are already working. So now we can just keep building out the asker pages. Okay, so this is our incorrect page. This will be incorrect page number 3. So 3.2. Alright, so we're going to want input.2a. Now that's important for later. We don't need it right now, though. Basically, I have 2a and we have 2a.c. That's the reason why we made a second version of each message. The second version, the one with the .c, leads us to the correct asker. If we had, let's say, done 12111, well, inputting that third number, the 1 that follows 2, will not take us to the correct asker. It's because when we picked a 2, that message took us to the incorrect asker, and then subsequently every incorrect asker after it. It's okay if I don't make sense. Hopefully it'll all connect to the end. Alright, so we're now going to page 3. So this, I need to make sure each one of these is input.3a. Got 3b, 3c, and 3d. And the messages required is going to be 2a, 2b. So we include 2a. We don't include 2a.c because that is the correct option. This is the incorrect asker. Great, looks good. Yeah, so that's going to be the same for pretty much everything. Because now it's just kind of like in line with all of the incorrect askers. Whereas there's a specific combination you need to keep going down the correct path. And if you get the incorrect choice while you're on the correct path, that's going to send you immediately over to the relative asker in the incorrect line. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So this is page 3. This will be page 3. Now, each one of these can only be shown when we do 2a.c. So these choices. And message being sent, again, for our testing purposes, we're doing 3a.c. So basically spamming 111111 is how you get the correct answer during our test. Everything else looks good. Okay, it's making sense. Okay, now we'll do page 4. So this is activated on 3a.c. This is page 4. This sends us to 4a.c because that's the correct answer. Over here, we're doing 4a. Or no. This is page. I'm already confusing myself. What's up, Vox Magana? Skadoosh. Good afternoon to you, my two-horned friend. Okay, so this is page 4. So the message required were 3s. Makes sense. Alright, looks good. Yep, so the only correct input is right here. So those messages are required to get us to our final destination. And then we finally have the last page. So get there with 4a.c. So it looks like I don't... Oh no, we can use the 5a.c. That'll be very useful. That'll basically be the message that activates everything else. Let's see, do I have something with like animations? I like this robot. So we'll make him do an animated dance or something. We'll make him die, sure. And he'll do that on our 5a. It's a message being played, input.5a.c. So he'll only die once we get that correct combination. Alright, and then on this page, this is page 5.2. We'll have one last page that will basically say, you input the right code. You input the wrong code. And it'll be kind of like the ending message. This will be 5A, 5B, 5C, and 5D. That doesn't seem right. Boo-hoo. We'll just make sure all these are set to none. And for the correct answer, it was 5A.C. You did it! Nice. And so we just have the one message that goes out. And what we can do is we can have that input.5a.c will turn off this first asker. So that we don't just keep doing the puzzle over and over again. but only that message will do it because, hey, we have to keep trying, right? Alright, let's test it. This puzzle came together pretty quickly. Definitely one of the easier ones. Yeah, and ask her, like, a quiz. Like, this could be very useful for anyone trying to make, like, a quiz based on your brand. Or, you know, some knowledge, some history lesson. But quizzes in general. Alright, so we're going to get the incorrect code first. I'm not going to pay too much attention to my spawning assets, but we can see that it's a different asset each time. So now, I'm going to try and get the correct code, which, you know, it's just 11111. And we got our character that dies, and we get the message, you did it. And we can't do it again. Wow. The puzzle's done. Oh, now I have to go back to the battery puzzle. But no, I'm pretty impressed with this. I think this is a good mechanic for a lot of things in our game. And I'll probably use it frequently. So that means we would need to make multiple Asker pages. So the main reason I had this, the input.spawner, we'll go ahead and expand on that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Game Maker, what's happening? I mean, Game Maker had a heart attack. What the f... Oh, Game Maker, you tried your best. That's all we can ask for. This is why we save before every playtest. Feels bad, man. Kaboom! Yeah, that's how I feel, Sparky. Wait, what? Wait, what? I've already played all of the month of sharing games, just testing them. That's one of the downsides of being a playtester, is we get to play all the games before they come out. So now there's like no real point in streaming it, because I guess I know everything that happens. I could speedrun it, I guess. Yeah, One Box can relate. One Box, have you been streaming? Also, One Box, I don't think I like formally invited you, but seeing as you do stream occasionally, would you like to play D&D sometime? I'm trying to include everyone that wants to play. Def? Alright, cool, sounds good. Yeah, I'm not making any promises though. In terms of like guarantee. Like but I want to ensure everybody has a chance to play. Oh yeah, you're good one, Bucks. I'm idling my thumbs right now because Game Maker cannot do it. Game Maker is not doing it. There we go. Go West, you encourage Game Maker. I'm over here doubting. One box is... No worries. Yeah, Sparky, it's a curse. Multitasking is like a blessing and a curse. Like, sure, you know, we get more things done, but are we actually, like, getting more things done? Or are we just doing more things at the same time and they all end up getting done relatively? Being productive is probably one of my pet peeves. Like, I think a lot of people feel this way. Feel guilty when I'm not being productive, you know? That shame, that guilt. Alright, so we did wrong number. That doesn't seem right. We'll do right number. You did it! Nice. Cool. So puzzle works. Now we're going to set up the spawning mechanic to where it's a little bit more consistent. Also, we're setting it up to where it's going to be killed all the assets that have spawned. This is going to represent a computer screen. Now, I have, actually, I think some numbers. Yeah, I have these number pads here. So I think we'll swap to those. Now, I don't need to make presets. So we're going to try not making a preset here. So we're going to do asset to spawn. Number 1. I may have to rotate these, which would be a little bit annoying. Because I think these are flat. Yeah, they're also facing the wrong direction. But I think that might be an easy fix if I just do this. So easy way to edit these is going to be input.spawner. Then I could just go and move each one down. We'll do -2. And on the Z, we'll do -2. Nope, 2. So we'll do 2, -2. -2, 2. Great, and we'll swap out the asset being spawned with the number relative to each. I mean, having a bigger window doesn't necessarily make you a better multitasker. Like, multitasking in general isn't necessarily a good thing. It's just something that we all do, like, because we think we can do it well, you know? It's just one of those things like driving. Like, if you're driving on the road, you think you're the best driver. Mainly because you're in control. You know, like, you can't control other people's actions. But, like, your style of driving is the best style of driving, isn't it? Like, you actively put yourself in the top 50% of driving. See, Go West is the best driver. Yeah, Sparky, I've kind of given up on the multitask stream. Now and most of you have noticed by now, but, like, the last 3 months, I've focused a lot on organization, routine, habit, lifestyle choices, and I have seen good increase in my productivity. Like, multitasking, and this is just generic, you know, my experience. Nothing I say here should be taken as like financial advice or, you know, like this is the only way to live, but rather like my recent experience in terms of like organizing. Like I've found success by multitasking less. One thing that's really helped me a lot is scheduling. So I'm gonna probably be doing more like Google Calendars and stuff. And not even like scheduling like calls and stuff, but rather just scheduling like telling myself, Halfd0rk, you're working on Seeker, you're working on the council stuff from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And so I'll get that pop-up, that reminder, and that literally like helps put my brain into like work mode. It's been very helpful lately. Very, very helpful. Cool. So I've saved it. Let's just make sure it's spawning the numbers. Yeah, cool. So we can actually see it now. And that definitely helps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. Alright, so now, for the sake of our puzzle, we want to then remove the old ones. So we need a message that when we get to the end here, and we can actually associate that with our asker behaviors. So typing in boohoo will reset it. So we're going to do input dot reset, because I did input dot next, I did input dot wait. We're going to do input dot reset here. And so basically on that last asker page, it's going to do input dot reset. Now, input dot reset is going to have a unique function. So we're actually going to make a speaker, which I thought I had more. I guess it was only these. Okay, so this is going to be input dot reset. So when I receive input dot reset, I'm going to send out a kill message to all plants. Now, technically, I could have put the kill message on that last asker page, but if I did that, I wouldn't be able to customize it to where it's only being sent to certain tags, such as with the speaker component. So that's the main reason why I did that. So we're doing input.reset, which will then, after a very brief delay, 0.1 seconds, it's going to spit out a kill message, and that's going to be broadcast type to specific tags within range. We can just put it at max. The tags are going to be number.plant. That just tells me, oh, these numbers here. And we'll go to our input spawners, and the numbers they're spawning, I'm going to assign that tag. So the kill message, by default, is already plugged into the plant behavior. So when we spawn it, we're basically spawning a plant behavior inside of the number pad. Last thing that's needed is the tag. So now that I have the tag, the plant behavior receives that kill message and is being removed. Okay, what's up, my guy? Welcome in. Thanks for the bits, dude. And thank you, Kay, for the gift from last night. That was very kind of you, very generous. Thank you very much. Alright, so we're going to add the tags to all of these. Oh, last night, I don't know if you all were just hanging out, but in Fred Ferd's stream, he hosted me and Kay for like a brief like Eon chat. So I don't know if I've made it very obvious, but we're working with Fred and Ferd to build out this map. And so this is everything Fred's made in the last couple sessions. Basically improving the designs that we've kind of set up. And so it's really coming together now. I feel like we're making great progress on this game. And so I'm feeling the burn. Gotta make these puzzles. Okay, so, all things considered, with this new puzzle that we literally made in like 3 minutes, it seems to be working. And it resets. The only thing I would probably change is maybe have this platform mechanic be less RNG based, because it's just going left and right. In terms of like its use, it's good to demonstrate, but I would probably have 4 asset spawners per section. So I think we'll go ahead and set that up. Secret Meow, what's happening? Good morning. Too sick to stay up. Oh, no worries, Goes. Sparky missed it. Oh, rip. Yeah, no worries. If anything, I'm sure we'll do more of those in the future. Fred's a very good host, so thank you, Fred. Alright, so each one of these is essentially going to be duplicated and placed in front of the section that it associates with.
You're all free now!
You're free now! Yay! Yay! So I'm gonna remove this from the equation for now. I'll just move it up. We can delete it later. There's no way out. What's up, Maxi? Afternoon. I was tempted to do some tavern stuff, but with Eon, we're making some really good progress. So I'm gonna keep the traction, keep going with Eon, but tavern will be soon after. Okay, so each one of these we're going to place. I'll probably make them a little bit more condensed here. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do 3, 4. We'll do something like this. Okay, so I'll want to realign these. Do negative 0.5. Should be 0. I think I have it backwards. It's a 0. I think we want to go like that. No? 0 is fine. Okay, I like it. Alright, so now each one of these is going to be spawning relative to our Asker puzzle. So that means I'm probably going to need some off-on switches for each of our Askers. If I am on page 1, this first section needs to be on. So we're going to do add component, toggle. It's going to be on by default. These will turn back on the reset, but they turn off if we choose any of the page 1 inputs. We'll duplicate them. This will be page 2. So now these, we're going to remove the input reset, and we're essentially putting the 1 A. Well, actually, we can customize this even further. Okay, I'm going to remove this. So each one of our digits, for example, will have specific messages associated with them. Okay, I'm not going to complicate this. My first thought is like, hey, how can I complicate this even further? We don't need that. Instead, I want to turn it on after 1A. This one turns on after 1B. Just remove these default values. So each one of them will turn on the relative input. So like 2 is relative to B, 3 is relative to C. This will be 1C. This one is 1D. However, I think what I had set up was that each message kind of spawned it. Is it possible for me to have another message somewhere that kind of toggles these? Well, now the platform's looking better and better. Because I don't have to have multiple messages per message. We're thinking. I think I'm going to take a quick break though. So, we're going to do all our giveaways all at once. You're going to want to participate. I'll give you guys a few minutes here.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Bang, bang! Keyword is going to be Eon. So, essentially, I'm going to roll the giveaway twice. And everybody who also participates in the giveaway will be entered in for a leg piece from the Dork Samurai set made by O24K. Yeah, quick commercial break here. J-Dog, what's up? Yoke's on you, what's up? Little Legion, how are you? But I'll be right back. And we're back. Rolling it. Good luck, everybody. First winner, one boxed. Congrats. Hey! Too late, dropped it. It's one boxed. I now owe you 2 coins. We'll roll it again. Oh, 24K winning the second coin. K, I owe 5 coins. Fantastic. Now, with that list of eligible bachelors and bachelorettes and the married folks, we'll go to the Wheel of Names. Alright, good luck, everybody. This is for Dork Equipment. Our winner, Paul. Congratulations, Paul. You've won the Dork armor of your choosing. Leg pieces I have the most of. So if you don't have a selection, leg pieces is what I recommend. But you could also choose from the head or the arm piece. So here's the set. We'll take a quick gander. But congratulations, Paul, and thank you for participating. This is for the Dork Samurai arms, or the Dork Samurai head, or the Dork Samurai leg pieces. I do have some chest armor that we'll probably give away tomorrow. So if you guys are around tomorrow, Fridays, wrap up the week, giving away the rare of the set. This one also has a cool banner. So, Paul, I'll get with you. Or I'll send you leg armor. One or the other. Looks like Yoke's on you. I have your name written in my Dork Samurai leg section. I'll have to talk with you, Yoke's on you. It looks like I didn't write down which piece you wanted. So if you're listening, Yoke's on you. Out of those common pieces, if there was one in particular you wanted. Cool. Alright, back to work. So while I was... Leg is fine? Perfect. Thank you, Yoke's on you. Appreciate it. Alright, so looking at this puzzle, and I thought about it, behind the scenes. I don't actually need a toggle on anything. Yeah, other than... No, I don't need a toggle on anything. So the toggle I don't think was necessary. Instead, I just split the messages required. So if this is input.1a, for example, this is the second page of dialogue. So on the second page, associated with spawning the number 1 would be 2A and 2C. So 2AC, sorry. So yeah, we're removing the toggles and instead changing which message is being spawned. So this is number 2, so I did want input 2B. The rest of them can be removed. So same here, we're on number 3. I can remove everything except for 2C. Then finally, 2D. Great. I think that makes sense. As for the asset spawner in the start, also doesn't need to toggle. Yeah, so the toggle was not necessary. because I'm using specific, like, unique messages regardless. So, like, every page of my Asker dialogue has unique messages. So, it doesn't require me to toggle them. Great. So we're just setting up each of these individually. So I'll go ahead and move them over. That way we can just duplicate the messages and remove the messages not being used. So this is number 1. So number 1 here, we're on page 3. So we want input 3A and 3A.c. This is page 3, letter B. So we're removing everything except for 3B. This is letter C because it's associated with the third choice of our Asker. And it's page 3, so that's what the number's for. And the third choice, C, happens to be a 3 as well. And then finally, the fourth selection, fourth choice, on page 3, so 3D. Great. Then we go to the next one. This is going to be page 4. So page 4, A. And we're going to do 4A.c. because the correct answer also spawns the 1. Very good. And then again, page 4, B is what we want, because this is selection 2, aka B. This one's 4C. This one's 4D. Then last page, we're doing 5A and adding 5AC. For the correct answer. And this one will be 5D, or 5B. We have 5C. And 5D. Great, so I'll give it a save, and that should solve our problem. So this is probably one of the puzzles you'll encounter most often in the sandbox, because of its simplicity. More or less, it's just using the Asker pages as its, format of puzzle. And Askers are very well suited to a linear event or branching off events. So having this puzzle is very simple to implement. Probably one of the most beginner-friendly. Okay, so we're going to input the wrong code first. So we'll see our digits here. So right now, I'm spawning assets right there, which I don't want. This one's a little too high. Looks like I do want to change the offset for a few, but we do want to take a look at these and make sure they are disabled. So each of our inputs here, we're removing, and we're only keeping the page 1 inputs. And this will be 1B. This one will be 1C. And 1D. And then our first option was 1A. Great, that looks good. As for the offsets themselves, not a big deal. We'll still have the numbers as they represent. I mean, I guess I could do like a negative 2.5. Nope. 2 would be down, so 2.5? Like that. Okay. We can add it. So 2.5 to all of these in the first row. Yeah, rich text. One box. We have a document. Check out this document for HTML supported by GameMaker. So, this in particular, just taking a quick glance, has all of the basics, like definitely the starter, like location to learn, let's say, bold and italics. Plus, it's Unity official. So pretty much everything in these documents Sandbox uses, because as you know, I'm sure, and everyone else, if you're unaware, Sandbox is Unity. Sandbox is basically a subset of Unity, which is, pretty helpful to have that information in your back pocket, because anything relative to Unity may, in the future, be relative to Sandbox. Sandbox was created using Unity, and so it's using essentially the same code. Yeah, Secret Meow, we were experimenting with a little bit of that this morning. I lost the list, but I can demonstrate something. There is a particular, let me put a sign down, syntax that you can use called sprite. And so thanks Fredford and Little Legion, who helped me rediscover it for like the 5th time. But if you do sprite equals, we'll try like 18. That's going to be an emoji. So the sprites that work is like up to 30, like 35. So there's 35 different emojis. Sorry, I was typing here. So if we interact with this sign here, you'll see what I'm talking about. So basically, that syntax, as we're talking about with like player and color, size, there is one for sprites. And so sprites are emojis. Great. So let's just see what that looks like. I'll even make another one. And we'll try like sprite 15. You can see what these look like. So interacting with the sign. That is the straight-faced emoji. Interacting with this one, we have the joy, the crying, laughing emoji. So I believe wave is in here somewhere. A couple things. I'm going to go and remove the names on these signs. And we'll just start from like number 10. Count up. I could start at 1, but I think sign is like in the teens somewhere. Yes, Secret Meow, all of those will work together, so we can even test that here. Here's selfie. Nice, selfie. Just what I wanted. So we'll try number 12, and we'll do size. And we'll increase the size, so you basically have to make the brackets around it. So size equals, we'll try 50. So one will be 13. Unfortunately, the offset's a little weird, but we can fix that. Here's the meditation. We can definitely fix it. So it'll be 14. Boop, boop, boop. So we'll add like 5 spaces in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's great to see this in games, and I hope, yeah, anyone out there, please do use these. These are great to see because we don't see them often. It's definitely difficult to find uses for them. One of my favorite uses that I've seen, I think, I can't remember the name of the game, but what they did is they had characters when you interacted with them, and they had like an emotional response. Let's say they were happy to see you because you came back after rescuing their child. Well, they had like a raised hands emoji, or like they had a heart emoji. So there's a lot of potential for these. Super big? Sure, we'll try a super big. Let's try 100. So this is normal size. Just raising the hand up. And then the 100, very adequate choice. Pretty funny. One boxed. See you later. Have a great meeting. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so we have our size. Yeah, finding that, you know, good middle point is important, I'd say, for emojis. So we're probably going to need, like, some spaces before and after. I was looking for the wave. Still can't find it. This setting is better, though, than the 100. But yeah, I think I need to... I don't need to, but I want to build a... kind of like a catalog of, like, Game Maker things. This is definitely one of those things that isn't really well documented in things you can do in Game Maker. And Little Legion, we have to thank for, you know, being the one to discover this and share it with people. A lot of people, and I don't say a lot of people, sorry. Some developers find things and choose not to share. I understand that point of view. I don't think it's good for the community to hold back information. I think we all benefit. Like, everyone benefits when we share information. That's cute. Raised hands. I mean, those look more like stop. Like, yo, what's up, Hodl? Good morning. All I wanted to find was the wave. There's the wave. Now, I believe you can have these as indicators. Let's try. So I'll add indicator and just have that above his head. And we'll even attempt to put it as a display interaction. We'll see if there's any benefit in doing so. Hey, that looks pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. And, oh, that's nice. So the hoverable interaction also works. And then when we interact, it does hide, briefly, the name. So whenever you have a speech bubble, it hides the old one. Now, I'm fairly certain we can color this as well. So let's try coloring it. We'll do color equals red. Go to the end and do /color. Now for the speaker, I'll also add the color, and we'll see if there's any difference. I don't think there will be. And on my other sign, I'll try the next sequential one. But sprite 24 is the wave. Okay, so we're looking for the red hand. It is not changing colors right now. So it appears as though sprites do not change color. Good to note. I'm sure maybe like the Some of them do. So I'll set this back to 1. Because I know that one looked a little bit different. Okay, that's the okay sign. Anyway, that was a nice test. Is there anything else I wanted to try? Kissy face. It's adorable. Alright, so I'm very happy with this puzzle. This is going to be useful in several different situations. Now, the puzzle itself can be split into multiple branches. So I could, if I wanted to, have multiple secret answers. Right now, this is just the amount of askers required for one secret answer. But that could easily be bridged into others. So, for example, I could have on page 1, we'll say 22222. If I did 22222, we would basically have a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2. So basically I would add an additional 3 or 4 asker pages. And they would all still simultaneously push to the incorrect choices if I got one wrong in the combination. Sparky, you are valid. We'll remind you. So testing out our puzzle. And it resets. We get to do it again. This time with the correct answer. We got it right. And it turns off this asker. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It is 10 o'clock, so this is a good time to end the stream. Thanks everybody for just hanging out, popping in. It's Thursday. I don't think anybody streams after me Thursdays. So we're going to wrap it here. No worries, Go West. Get all the rest you need. TD Animator is currently live, so we'll probably send the raid his way. He's with the Taiwan Creator Club. And right now he's making some really cool things. Yay! He's making some cool dirt blocks. So we'll go support him. Thanks everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be here tomorrow. Same time. We also have D&D in the afternoons tomorrow. But yeah, got work to get to. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. Simple as that. Thanks everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Toodles.